Welcome to day 15. Your story is your strongest marketing. How to create connection, trust, and curiosity by sharing why you started. So, welcome back. Today, we begin a deeper conversation about marketing, a promotion, giveaway, launch, or campaign. The first step is not the prize, the deadline, or the features. The first step is sharing your why. People connect with people. A giveaway, bonus, or deadline alone doesn't create trust. People connect with honest stories, real struggles, personal turning points, meaningful reasons, someone who understands where they are. Your story gives the promotion a human connection. Lead with the story, not the sale. A common mistake is immediately announcing, here's what I am selling, here's the price, here's the deadline, instead begin with, why did you start? What was happening in your life? What were you searching for? What finally made you take action? Your audience needs to understand the person behind the offer. Your story is the bridge. Your ideal customer may be experiencing something you once experienced. They may feel overworked, underpaid, financially stressed, trapped by their schedule, unsure whether they have the skills. Your story creates a bridge between where they are and what may be possible. And this just works for any business. So this is more related to the wealth industry, but if you're doing some kind of industry, you can also apply these skills to whatever industry it is. So my why. A few years ago, my company cut my pay. I was already working hard, but suddenly I had even less control over my income. Was I going to keep depending entirely on someone else for my financial future? No. I started looking for another option, not for something flashy, but for more control, peace, and freedom. So, the honest middle. Your story shouldn't jump directly from struggle to success. Share what happened while you were trying to change. Some things didn't work. I made mistakes. I lost money. I became skeptical. I kept searching because staying in the same situation felt worse than continuing to learn. That's the part people relate to most. The turning point. Every strong story has a turning point. Ask yourself, what did you discover? What changed your thinking? What finally made sense? What caused you to take the next step? Your turning point doesn't need to sound dramatic. It needs to be real. So the three-part story framework: before, turning point, and now. So before, what was happening before you started? Turning point, what caused you to make a different decision? Now, what has changed in your skills, beliefs, or lifestyle? This framework gives your story a clear beginning, middle, and destination. So part one, before. Describe your previous situation with one or two real details. For example, I was working hard but still checking my bank balance before basic decisions. I was tired of giving my energy to a job that could change my pay at any time. Specific details make the story believable. Part two, the turning point. Explain what made you act. For example, when my pay was cut, I realized waiting was not a strategy. I found a simple blueprint that showed me how it could work. I decided I'd rather become a beginner than remain stuck. The turning point is where your audience begins imagining their own. Part three, now. You don't need to pretend everything is perfect. Share what has genuinely changed. You develop valuable skills. You understand digital marketing. You have a system you can follow. You've created more control over your time. You have more confidence in your future. Transformation can be practical, emotional, or financial. Connect this story to the campaign. Once you've shared your story, connect it naturally to what's happening in your business. You might say, that is why this current giveaway matters to me. That is why I created this limited time bonus. That is why I want more people to see this training. The campaign becomes more meaningful when people understand your reason. A mission bigger than the promotion. A strong campaign should represent more than a prize. The deeper mission might be helping more people find another income option, helping beginners develop valuable skills, giving families more financial breathing room, showing someone that another path exists. The giveaway attracts attention, the mission creates meaning. Speak to one person. Don't create your story for a giant crowd. Imagine someone watching who just had their hours reduced, is worried about another bill, is exhausted after work, has tried something before and failed. Speak directly to that person. That makes your content feel personal. Use real details. Instead of, I was struggling, say, my company cut my pay and I realized how little control I had over my income. Instead of, I wanted freedom, I wanted to say, I wanted to stop giving every productive hour of my day to someone else. Specificity creates connection. Don't make yourself the hero. Your audience should recognize themselves in your story. You're not saying, look how successful I am. Say, I understand where you are because I've been there too. Your role is to be the guide. The person watching is the hero who must decide whether to take the next step. Avoid the perfect success story. People disconnect when a story sounds too polished. You don't need to remove mistakes, fear, doubt, failed attempts, slow progress, difficult days. Those details make your story human. People trust honesty more than perfection. Use your own voice. A framework can help organize your thoughts, but the final message should sound like you. Tell the truth in the way you would explain it to one person sitting across from you. Don't sound like a motivational speaker. Sound like yourself. Your voice is part of your brand. Create a short story video. Hook. Start with the moment that changed something. Struggle. Explain what was happening. Turning point. Share what caused you to act. Invitation. Connect the story to the next step. A strong video can be 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Keep it focused and honest. Here's an example of a story video. A few years ago, my company cut my pay. This is my story, by the way. My company cut my pay, and it made me realize how little control I had over my income. I had already tried different ways to make money online, and some of them left me disappointed and skeptical. But I kept looking because I knew I needed another option. Eventually, I found a simple blueprint that helped me understand how an automated online business could work. That is why I'm sharing this current promotion. Someone watching may be exactly where I once was and simply need a better place to begin. So you can mess around with that, use AI to figure it out. But at the end of the day, you want to speak from your heart. Okay. You can have AI and stuff help you create your story, give you ideas, but at the end of the day, it should just come straight from your heart because that's the most powerful content. Add a simple call to action. After telling your story, tell the person what to do next. Comment ready for the details. Reply and I'll send the information. Download the free blueprint. Watch the free training. Register for the next webinar. One clear action is enough. Follow me for more tips, whatever it is. Either it's like you're sending them to a link, or you're just asking them to follow your journey. Turn the story into an email. Okay. Number 1, subject line. Great curiosity around the turning point. 2 is opening. Describe what was happening before. 3 is story. Explain the moment you decided to change. 4, connection related to the current promotion. 5, invitation. Give one clear next step. One story can work across several platforms. Example subject lines you could use. The moment I knew something had to change. Why I started looking for another option. My pay was cut and everything changed. I almost gave up on online business. The real reason I started this journey. Curiosity earns the open. Honesty earns the attention. Reply to every genuine comment. When someone responds to your story, reply personally. Don't immediately send a sales pitch. Ask questions. Thank you for sharing that. What part of my story connected with you? What kind of change are you hoping to create? What has been holding you back? The comment starts the relationship. The conversation builds trust. Listen to the responses. The responses to your story can help you improve your marketing. Notice which detail people mention, what struggles they share, what questions they ask, what part of your story creates hope, what objections appear repeatedly. Your audience will tell you what future content to create. Listen closely. Repurpose one story. One personal story can become a short video, a written social media post, an email, a carousel, a live video, a follow-up message. You don't always need a new idea. You need new ways to communicate the same meaningful message. Okay, what not to do. Avoid inventing details, exaggerating your results, making the story entirely about money, turning every sentence into a sales pitch, copying someone else's emotional experience, sharing deeply personal details you may later regret. Be honest without feeling obligated to reveal everything. Today's assignment, number 1, your before. What was happening before you started? Your turning point. What made you decide to change? Your now. What has changed since then? Your invitation. What is the next step for someone who relates? Post it as a video, a written post, or an email. Story planning prompts. Use these questions. What was happening when I knew something needed to change? What was I afraid would happen if nothing changed? What had I already tried? What made me take another chance? Who might need to hear this story today? Answer from experience, not theory. The promotion gives someone a reason to act. Your story gives them a reason to listen. Don't try to sound perfect. Be honest, be specific. Speak to the person you once were. See you tomorrow for day 16. Expect miracles. Have a great day and God bless.